Hi, Jamala.
Hello, how are you?
Oh, hi. I'm Hua. Nice to meet you. I'm like the TA for this program.
Okay.
Professor Mears is late today for a
All
little
right.
bit, so we just need to wait for her.
Okay, that's fine.
Jamila, hi, can you hear us? Okay. Jamila, can you hear us? I can't hear you. Where is the, where is the HDMI? Oh, that's it, okay. Great. Oh, yeah, and that's working. I don't know if Jamila is there or not. Okay, so hi, everybody, great to see you. Any things we need to deal with before we get started? Everybody okay? Great. Okay, so Nyana and Alishar have bravely volunteered to go first in talking about their syllabi. So do you want to come up here, and I don't, which one of you wants to go first? I'll get out of the way, my mask on, and go sit with the students. Either way, you want to plug in? What do you have? I just send it to you. Oh, okay. How was class Friday? Good, great. What was your topic you're discussing?
We were talking about abortion,
Uh-huh.
and also we had there was a speaker, professor from another university that she talks about abortion in Israel.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, very interesting.
Oh, great.
Mhm.
Did you send it to the AU address or the Gmail?
I'm not sure
Hold on, I can check the Gmail. That's really out of date.
That's EU address. Is there any
Can come-
folders that we can follow there for us?
Yeah, we could put,
It's better if they can put anything on that.
Yeah,
folder so
yeah.
we can follow.
yeah, I'll
Like
put the
syllabus or
sign-up sheet in a
ideas.
folder, and then you can put your syllabi there. And actually, then you could put slides there before class, and we wouldn't have this
Yeah, that's better. you know,
like
for
lag.
efficiency.
Nayana, why don't you go ahead and send me your slides too?
Yeah, or if you want, I can. Well, I
Yours
I
is on there?
created immediately
Google Doc.
no, yeah, the document. So, okay, let's send it to you.
I don't know, are they sure it hasn't come? Let's see. Let me check. No, sometimes it's good to restart it. Let me try. Yes, Jamila. Hi, Jamila. Can you hear us?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, great, fantastic. I'll turn around so you can see the room. Here's everybody.
Hi.
Okay, Ali Sher is going to present, but I'm just having trouble getting his presentation. Okay, Nayana, you want to go first?
Yes, if you want.
Wait, did it come? Oh, it came. Oh, yay. Never mind. Yay. That's so slow. It's weird.
I have it open in there.
It's open on yours? Yeah.
I could put mine.
Oh, wait, finally. There we go. Okay. Floor is yours.
Thank you. Yeah, so good morning, everyone. So that's the very draft version of the syllabus. So it's still due to a time constraint, it was not much reading could be done. And that's the syllabus designed for the bachelor students of Süleyman Demirel University in Kazakhstan.
Say a little something about the students?
About the students, so it's the business school, and usually in the business school there's not much emphasis on even economics, but there is economics, and put aside gender economics, and that's why it would be like an elective course, and mostly students are interested in the subjects like accounting. So we have a track of so the main focus of the business school is to prepare students for Big Four auditing companies so that they become.
Do they have some economics background?
They have economics background, but it's not strong. So there are some like there's principles of economics 1 and 2, and then microeconomics, macroeconomics. There is some econometrics, but it's very poor.
And a bit of statistics as well.
Statistics as well, yeah. So the statistics come first statistics, and then econometrics, and then there are some international economics, and yeah, there are economics subjects, but not much of them.
So, but that sounds like a lot of courses, so why do you say not much? They don't get into theory or?
I mean, as in Kazakhstan, there might be some courses, but their quality might suffer, and
So it's
that's
not
why I'm saying,
intermediate level, it's just
yeah,
basic level.
yeah,
That's
not
absolutely fine.
much emphasis on them. So the main focus are finance and accounting subjects, and the professors, teachers that teach those courses also business school hires more professionals on finance and accounting related. They pay higher for them, and so they pay more focus, more efforts on that field. Economics is mostly on paper, so to say. And students also do not have much interest on economics because it's not really, it's very hard to find job on economics. Yeah, it's easier to find to become an accountant or to become a auditor, tax person, and that's why students also have less interest in economics related subjects. But hopefully there will be some students who will be interested. And the first topic is obviously introduction to gender economics. So why gender economics is at all needed, and what is gender economics? Why should we study? And how men and women different? Why should they be treated differently? And to give some critique of current economic approach. So the so-called Homo economicus that Professor Mears from your TED talk, that current assumption of Homo economicus is not relevant anymore. So individuals are not always rational in their behavior and in their decision making, and they are not gender neutral in behaving and decision making. So we have to distinguish. And then
Just before you go to
Yep.
number 2, I mean, last time we talked about this difference between feminist economics and gender economics. Maybe it might be a good idea to include that in this first topic, because feminist economics is more of conceptual things, deep. It's far from the neoclassical approach of thinking. So maybe it's better if you can shed some lights on the difference between feminist economics and gender economics. So that when you talk about genders, now they're very clear what you're talking about.
Okay, but I'm afraid they might be even more confused if I include also feminist economics. So what is?
It's fundamental departure from the neoclassical approach of economic thinking. It's a different conceptual framework.
So maybe when you do the critique, without, maybe you even don't even need to use another word necessarily, right? But you could explain how, I don't know, some people who work on gender approach economics itself differently, right? Sort of like that, without getting into the scared little feminists. Right?
Yeah, it's one way to clarify that scareness,
Okay. Yeah, thank you. And then maybe it's a good idea to show some trends, some statistics of the Kazakhstan economy. What are the gender differences in employment level? Some trends, some historical levels in occupations. So which occupations are mostly occupied by men or women? Wage gaps, and of course gender difference in time allocation for paid and unpaid work. Yeah, so just briefly, very overall description.
Again, another comment. If you add some statistics on this one.
Yeah. So give
some statistics, how to make these differences using statistical techniques. So just a very small module on statistical approach on gender differences. If you can add that one, it will be very interesting.
Yeah,
you could have like a key measure or something, like one key measure for each thing. Also, I wanted to add that, I don't know if people know the book, Family Economics, kind of a big textbook by Chiapori, Weiss, and Browning, I think. It's very neoclassical on gender economics, but it's very rigorous. But they start with a whole giant chapter at the beginning on data, on the US economy. And so it might just give you some inspiration about like different kinds of data, but also I think if other people are teaching, it's really nice because, and I like, it's the same thing you're thinking about, they motivate all that theory by first showing you like these patterns, of different.
There is also another textbook on statistics for business. Very simple approach on statistical methods.
Can you please take my
It's a very, very
laptop and So it's so not to forget. Can I just write?
Yeah. I'll bring the textbook next week to Mandarin so that you can see it. It's very helpful. It's very elementary but powerful. Basic technique in statistics to depict some of this.
How does it called? Business statistics?
Statistics for business.
Yeah, just
Do you remember the author?
just even understanding the difference between mean and median,
Exactly.
you know, is like really
Basic
useful.
technique. Even using graphs, powerful graphs to depict differences. Very simple graphs.
Okay, and then moving to marriage and family economics or household economics, and so I divide it into two parts. The first part is the general marriage market, its supply, demand, and equilibrium, and the resource allocation in marriage and marriage dissolution. Yeah, I've just borrowed this part from another syllabuses. I'm not really sure what is meant here, but I'll do more reading, and I thought that it would be important to.
Yeah, I think a lot of that is very neoclassical on, on how people choose mates, you know. You can take a look and see what seems relevant.
Yeah. And then the second part of marriage and family economics is to to discover households as an economic unit, how power is distributed inside the family, inside the household, and how the labor is divided. Yeah, and then move to specifically on unpaid care and household work. And focus on women and unpaid care work, and focus on the existing care systems that are in place in Kazakhstan. So it's for childcare and also for elderly care. And then
Can I ask you a question? Is it more public provided care or private when you talk about care system?
more public. Yeah, I think we have to focus. I'm not sure yet, but I think more we have to start with public. What are there, because private is usually super expensive in so the difference between public and public in Kazakhstan is very expensive. And then potential contribution, potential loss of GDP because of unpaid care work of women. And then gender and labor market, also two parts. Yeah, so starting with the barriers for women in the labor market. So entering labor market barriers, and then career barriers in career advancement, gender discrimination and occupational segregation, and from that wage gaps. The second one is so also related with the first part, is the so-called motherhood penalty that women who have families and women who have children has to sacrifice, so they're like lost opportunity for them, and that also linked this with child poverty. So since women do not have much opportunity to work and to earn money, they have less earnings in the family, and I have seen the recent statistics, like the larger the household size, so the larger the number of children, the more poor this family is. Well, because of motherhood penalty, because women cannot work, cannot earn additional income, so this per capita they're very poor. And then focus on female entrepreneurship. So what kind of barriers are there for women to start business and to grow their business, and access to finance, capital, and other important resources. And then, of course, capital budgeting. So first of all, to give a definition of what is budgeting and why is there a need for gender budgeting, and also to to emphasize on the effective and fair allocation of Republican, so meaning the government budget and municipal budgets. And then the last 3 parts for gender statistics. The first part is on overview. So what is gender statistics? What kind of measures do we have? So we have UN Sustainable Development Goals for gender equality and empowerment, to introduce them with these goals. And then, so why there is a need for gender disaggregated data. So that's more a theoretical part. And then do some specific analysis using either SPSS or Stata, so whichever would be more demanded in the market. So
you can even do it using Excel.
Even yeah, I thought so.
They're just using Excel.
Even Excel would be
interesting analysis using statistics.
I also thought that, because Excel is undoubtedly the most used software.
It is accessible by everybody, and at the same time it's easy to use.
Yeah, I wanted to ask that. So what kind of access to these softwares might your students have?
Well, we have SPSS in the business school. There is also Stata, but it's not for students, it's for staff. There is not much. It's like 10 subscriptions or something. So it's very low. But SPSS is for students.
Excel to all the students.
Yeah, Excel also. Yeah.
If you have Microsoft Office, you can have Excel.
Yeah.
Do they all speak English?
So the course is taught in English, but their English level varies. So there are some students who has perfect English, some students who don't speak English at all, but they were accepted because they won the state grant, and the university cannot refuse to accept them. So that's very diverse. The background, the level, language level, and the general education level is very diverse.
I mean, how many classes are in one semester?
There are 15 weeks. Of these 15 weeks, 2 weeks go to like midterm exams and exam preparations. So basically 13, but you cannot have 13 topics. It's usually 12 or even lower, because of the pace is very slow.
And how many hours are each session? It's 1 week. Well,
So it's
sorry, 1 session per week.
So it's 15 weeks per semester and 3 hours per week. So
2
like
hours is split in one
Yeah.
1 hour and a half and 1 hour and a half, or 3 hours together?
it's like two hours separately as a lecture, and then 1 hour as a seminar or practice.
But all in one day?
It might be in one day, or it might be separately, depending on the schedule, how it allocates, the program allocates.
Yes, I'm asking this because sometimes it's when you are talking about one topic and it's a hard topic,
Mhm.
even if you want the students want them to be super concentrated.
Yeah.
So I think as the next step, maybe it's a good idea to produce timetable, some of the reading materials chapter for each unit. You can even revise some of the topics. So
Yeah. So this might be even very optimistic topics, because the pace of students is very different and sometimes it's very slow.
Some average time and materials as well, so that you can see if it is feasible.
How is the background of the students for Stata and statistics?
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'm thinking in the future with Professor Jesus, really, I mean, if you want to
it would be very
introduce to your students to econometrics.
It would be very, very hard. Yeah.
I think it is impossible.
And that's why Professor Yusuf's recommendation is very useful. So Excel maybe would be much better, because understanding SPSS or Stata, but SPSS is easier, obviously, but understanding them will also take time. And So they have like financial modeling module, like obligatory for all majors, and there they use Excel basically. So they have background in Excel is very good. So they do some modeling.
And also, you don't have to do regressions, right? You can just have them find the average wage or
Yeah, so-
something like the wage gap. I also wanted to suggest, I don't know, maybe you already looked at this, but having them access some data off websites. So like the UN has really nice website on monitoring sustainable development goals, statistics to use for that. And if you just sort of Google around, there's a lot of nice places you can send your students in terms of websites and data. And it empowers them, later to find the data themselves if they want to do some analysis. And one other thought I had, and this is really just a question, is whether you would want to do the statistics part first. So there's a course, I might have mentioned this before, there's this course at Harvard by, I can't remember his name right now, the South Asian guy, Raj Chetty, which is very famous, where he introduces students to economics without any theory at first. And he just gives them data, and they look at patterns in the data, right? And they discover, in your case, like a wage gap. And then he introduces the theory to explain like the wage gap, right? Or they can see the differences in time use, and then you can have models of households, right? So it's just a thought, that they could start with the data and that can kind of inspire interest in the theory, as opposed to like traditionally, we hit you with the theory, right?
Yeah, that might be useful.
I have one comment. Regarding labor, labor market section, you have for 2 weeks and you have many different topics in those. I feel like maybe even each one of them might be one topic, like wage gap, occupational segregation, because it usually takes more time than you think. So I think it might be a good idea to separate those sections.
Just prioritize dramatically. Okay, any last question for Alicia? We've sort of reached our halfway point. Okay, thanks. I'm just going to check in with Jamila, who we can't see because we have this up. I'm sure she's okay.
Is she in DC or outside?
No, she's in South Africa.
Oh.
Yeah. Jamila, are you still with us? Oh, you
Yeah.
we didn't get to see the presentation at all.
I didn't. I was.
Oh, so sorry. Can you
I was.
have Jamila's email? Can you send her your thing? Jamila, we will share screen. Sorry about that.
Okay, please.
A startup cost of not being really aware. Okay, so Nayana, you're next. When you get up here, will you share your screen? Yeah.
But if we disconnect it, it's gonna be. So
Oh, the Zoom is on here. Yeah.
So
yeah.
even
You
if
sent it to
I
me?
add two or three things, I'm gonna tell you that.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, we don't need that one. Nayana here. Okay, and then we're going to share the screen.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, Jamila, you can see the screen now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and we can hear you. So if there's something else, just speak up, or if you want to make a comment, we can hear you.
Okay.
Hi, Jamila. Hi, Juan. So I'm going to talk about the syllabus of this topic. So this topic is this subject of this topic is currently, it exists in the I'm teaching this in the faculty of Faculty of Accounting and Administration in Mexico City. The course exists. The course exists, and what I would like to do is to improve, not improve, but to give this opportunity, to update and to give this opportunity to change the current syllabus. So it is in the Faculty of Accounting and Administration, and it is an optional course.
Also for undergraduates, right?
It's for undergrad. And it is related to an association. I mean, this course exists because of an association that is called the Mexican Federation of University Women. So it's an optional elective course. And the name of the course, this we cannot change the name. The subject title is Gender Equality and Leadership of Women in Organization for Sustainable Development.
The same question. So does it have any background in basic economics?
No, so it is in the Faculty of Business Accounting and Administration, but we have students from several backgrounds, even from different fields. Like I have, because I teach that, so I students from informatics, computer science, also from accounting, also from business administration, also, and even other students from other faculties can come to this, can enroll in this course. So I have had also students from social science. So as we can see, it is like very, they come from very different backgrounds.
So some of them have zero background in economics.
Yeah, some of them have zero or like maybe just a general idea. But we have to consider that it's their first approach with all the gender topic. And also, it is one of the only courses that there are in this faculty. It was really a fight to have the option to have this course, because as we know, it's very hard to talk about these topics, but there is an increasing interest in this course. So this course, I changed it, like I mix it a little bit with, I'm just giving this option, this idea of the course description. This course, so this is what I did like for this class. So I changed it from the original. This course explores empirical evidence for the causes and consequences of gender inequality across a variety of concepts of gender equality, feminist economics, human rights, leadership, and empowerment, and its relationship with the objectives of sustainable development, SDGs. It's not good. Yes, it's not correctly, properly. It's I have to change this. SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals. So for each of these concepts, I put it like concepts, students will also learn through evidence from gender studies. But here also I can change it, I could put from feminist studies, but well, research focusing on both in the national and international regulatory framework. It's a very wide, where because also it is an opportunity for the students to know the most information that they can have about this topic. So from this course, a student will gain a broad knowledge of topics in gender equality, leadership, gender economics, but this also, I don't know if I should put gender economics or feminist economics, human rights, and women's empowerment. Maybe I can talk about all these in just one word, but I don't know. From this course, students will gain familiarity with the body of empirical evidence on each topic, the ability to identify the characteristics of women's leaders in different settings, and the ability to critically read original empirical research, the evidence on gender topics. Because my thinking about the course that we had in the Econ 1 and now Econ 2, also I realized that it's important for the students to know that this is not because, okay, there are women and men in their life. No, because this is something that it is serious. There are research behind. Because some people do not know that there is like a really serious research papers about that. And so the weekly activities, I put it like to be determined, research proposal to be determined, grade composition to be determined. But something that I I have done during other semesters that, because it's a lot of information. And so, and if I only have more or less 13 sessions, and in my case, the sessions are 4 hours from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's a lot. It's in one session. And so what I have done is like I invite speakers for the second, like, but for the second part of the session, but even like that, it's a lot of time in one single class, and it's yeah, the end sometimes is, we have to consider also that sometimes the students can be tired. Okay, so the subjects. I put it like concepts of leadership, gender equality, feminist economics, and women's economic empowerment. In this case, yes, we can say feminist economics, because there is this association that is behind that is thanks to the Mexican Federation of University Women. This as a subject, this course was created. So yes, we can talk about, and we should talk about feminist economics and the feminist movement. Also, it has to be very related to the Sustainable Development Goals. And then also something that it's important to, or has been important to identify, is the historical movement, the historical feminist movement, to understand that this is not something about like the 2020, like recent, that this comes from like a long, even since the creation of the world. So this, when we have the session of the human rights women in Mexico, or in another way of saying is the history of women, of the women's, the historia de las mujeres, the history of women, or the feminine, women's history, it helps a lot to say, oh, this is not something that it was just like that. It is something that it has a historical background.
I don't know if you've seen one of the previous global scholars, Ana Maria Tribin, and a co-author whose name I can't remember right now, have produced a really nice book on the economic history of women in Colombia. If you might look at that, because I'll give you some ideas, about how to organize data that they might look at or work with, or maybe you want to just, show some of it as a comparison with Mexico, or I don't know. I'll try to find you the link.
Okay. So maybe this can be in the very first. Yeah, the thing is like, yeah, maybe this can be the very first session. Oh, okay. But so also it's important to understand that there are some international treaties or international regulation or frameworks, and so yeah, the international frameworks. Also, what is also something that it's a Mexican reality, very sad reality, is that in Mexico every day 11 women are killed just because of they are women. So we have to talk about violence. We have to talk also about the protection of women in general. So it's a very important topic in Mexico, the violence. So so also maybe instead of legislation for the protection of women, it can be violence or something like that. So another topic is about the harassment, workplace violence. Also, it's related to. And then also women in the workforce. And when we talk about women in the workforce, we can talk about glass ceiling, and also about how some fields are feminized, and also some fields. Also something that is important is to talk about the women in politics. So I mean, it's a lot of topics. So and then also women in STEM. So there is scarcity of women in STEM, in the STEM field: science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And also, of course, as this topic is created thanks to the Mexican Federation of University Women, and the Mexican Federation of University Women has a women's museum. So we always in the class, we always have like a last activity of the semester where the students present in the Women's Museum through Facebook. And this is a very nice experience for the students too. So also we have to talk a little bit about women in the arts. And about this, I have to review again, like this is the current reading list, but I have to recheck that. And about this, there are 2 books that in my case I have used it in the class, and it's a good way to discuss with the students about feminist economics. One is the Alessandro Mercedes. It's Feminist Economic, How to Build an Egalitarian Society. I don't know if you know her. It's I don't have it here, but it's a tiny book with 12 or 13 chapters, but very easy to read. And each chapter, for instance, is very easy to read, and she makes like a lot of things. Like she says, one of the title of the subject of the every chapter is like girls just want to have fundings, and then she talks about fundings. Or the Barbie CEO, and then she talks about all the stereotypes, and then the women in business, and then so it's a very good book. And what I have done is like in every session, so the homework is you have to read one chapter, and then we talk about the chapter in the session. And also another book that it's great, and I have used it a lot, is the Catherine Marsal. It's who prepared the dinner to Adam Smith.
Oh yeah, who made Adam Smith's dinner? So your students are reading both in English and in Spanish? Or those exist in Spanish?
Those exist in Spanish, yes. And I think both, like who have made the dinner to Adam Smith. That one, the one of the Catherine Marsal, really you should read it. It's a very good approach. And also another topic, so there's a lot of topics, also another topic that it is very important in Mexico, it is, well, the unpaid care work, and also the informal economy. This is a national topic.
Yeah, but we have to include that one in the course outline because I haven't seen
Mhm.
this topic in the course outline. So I know why you have chosen these topics because your students' group is very diverse.
Mhm.
I had a couple of economic topics like labor market issues,
Okay.
wage gap, discrimination, and so on.
Right, when you do that part where you might talk about the glass ceiling, you could dig more into the labor market.
Yeah, care work, and so forth. A couple of them which you can discuss using very simple statistics. You don't have to go to deep economic theories because the groups are very diverse, but give them shed some light
Okay.
using statistics.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And also something, but I have to do what you said to Alisher, like to create this to identify really like how many topics we can talk about, because I mean also something that I have done to have to give the students an opportunity to know by themselves about some topics, because we cannot talk about all the topics, is that as the average of the students are 35. So what I split the group in subgroups, in teams of 5 students, and each team talks about one subject. So this can be, this can be
adding things to your.
Uh-huh. Yes. So it's very diverse, and sometimes it's a lot of topics and it's hard to, but also something like the econometrics it could be at least to know that the word econometrics exists.
So I guess one suggestion I have is about just thinking about marketable skills. So you've really focused on enlightening people, which is great, right? But I think, it's also helpful to convince at least some students that there are jobs in this area, And that's where I think you might find your way to some statistics. Actually, I think it doesn't have to be econometrics, especially for undergraduates, who aren't economists. But to be able to find wage data and find the mean and the median and like some basic statistics with some basic data. Those are, I think, skills that students can sell to employers, especially if they have a little project and they even can show their project, like I analyzed this data, I found this conclusion.
I strongly encourage everyone to have that book on statistics for business. You can also get so many exercises into it. So just you can adapt those techniques to the process. So it's really useful, simple, straightforward, powerful.
Absolutely.
Undergraduate students with very little background in things.
Absolutely, I absolutely agree, because this is, I mean, we have been talking with Violeta a lot that it's very it's a feeling that it's very hard. It's a good opportunity for us to show the students that this is a very important topic, and as you said, that there are work there, and that there is a whole world outside that really they can use what they are learning to have a work in the next generation, the next years. But yeah. Okay, so but yeah, I think that to show them that it's something that they can find works there, it's a good thing. Yeah. Okay.
Thoughts? Snella, how about you? Any thoughts for Susan?
I think everything is there. I think she's very different and actually we just talking about it the other night about how we just have to be truthful about self-interest that students are always going to think that they do that all the course. So for them to see how it fits into their careers, but also just thinking about how it's
So it's interesting, a number of you teach in business schools, right? So you have some of the same issues. Yeah, Alexei, go ahead.
Yeah, it's a more quick question. How interested are your students in this class? How many people are usually enrolled?
So when I had this class, there were only 4 students. It was in 2018, and there were only 4. But there I was kind of assisting the professor, and there was only 4 girls, like lost, like oh, and then the next semester were like kind of 6, and then in 2020. But in my case, I couldn't do anything because I was just like assisting. So I was like, okay, don't like just like help and assisting that I couldn't do anything. But then in 2020, because of the pandemic, the professor, she was an old lady, and she says, I don't want to know anything about Zoom or anything. I don't have any kind of skills with that. She doesn't even have like a smartphone. I did. She says, I don't want to know anything about that. So I give you the course, the lecture. And I said, yes, I'm happy to. And then I started to do a lot of activities. But what I like to do is I do things that I would love have, like I would have loved to have that when I was a student. So for instance, I have like every semester I do different activities, and this has been very like related with the Mexican Museum and outside the classroom, to show them that it's an important topic outside, and something that has been, so there has been an increase from 4 to 35 now.
Wow.
And they close it at 35 because they asked me if they open to 50, we're gonna have 50 students. So there is a crazy increasing interesting in this topic.
It's good. Did you collect some feedback from students?
Yes, I have. So it is crazy. Like one of I don't know if it was during the pandemic. If you want, I can show you. During the pandemic we created. So what I do is I do a lot of activities like with technology, like videos, and then they gather everything together. And also what I have done is I have included a lot of the students in the class, because I said, I'm not the one like the teacher and I know everything and that you have to learn. No, here we are all learning. We are all like learning about all the topics. So it is your class, just my class. So I involving the students in the class and making them that it is your knowledge, it is your class. If you want to have like a great exposure, we can do a presentation, we can do this, we can do, and also we do the presentation in the Mexican Women's Museum. It's a real museum. It's not like only in the classroom. So all this involvement of the students has made them very engaged in the class. So it's a word to mouth, and also I love to do. For instance, the last semester I made a class together with another university in the north, because thanks to Zoom we can do a lot of things. So in the north, in Tamaulipas, and then so there were 35 students from the UNAM and 35 students from Tamaulipas. The students from Tamaulipas, they were from psychology, and so we mixed them together. We did a lot of activities. So for them also, it's an opportunity to meet people from other fields, other universities, other areas. So this has been, so there is an increasing interest in this. Mm-hmm.
So Jamila also teaches in a business school. Jamila, I wanted to ask you if you had any thoughts on the syllabus.
Yes, I actually was looking at also Alicia's syllabus, because I felt like his teaching context is more similar to my teaching context. The focus on accounting and the more business courses, and the fact that we also don't really teach economics. We teach some economics and statistics, but it's not theoretical economics that makes you think about the theories, and also allows you to critique, have an overall critical orientation to the course. So I looked at both of them, and I think I like both of them because they're quite different. Nayana's is more it's more empirical in the sense that it uses actual empirical evidence and research from studies that have been conducted in Mexico. Alicia's is more, I think, suited to an undergraduate course. And I think the topics that he covers are quite, it covers quite a lot. I wonder if there is enough time during this. Is it a semester course or a term to cover all those topics? But very interesting syllabus.
Thank you. yeah, that's always the problem, right? Like we want to put in everything, how can we? So you have to be a little dramatic in your slicing down of your topics. I do think students learn better if they have enough time to think about stuff, you know, we don't just rush them through everything, but I do know it's hard. Well, thank you very much, Nayana and Alicia, for going first. That was very brave of you. So we need people to sign up for next time. Next time we're going to be talking about our research. So last time I looked at the Google sheet, there was no one signed up. So please sign up for next time. Can't make Nayana and Alicia go first all the time. So someone else has to take a turn. So you sign up, or you will sign up. Great.
It's good to do it early and then get feedbacks and then, revise it again and again until December.
Thank you guys for coming. Appreciate the input. Great. Okay.
Thank you, Jamie.
All right, thank you.
We miss you.
Miss you guys.
Okay. Ciao. I mean, I don't know if I should. I'm gonna leave this here.
Okay.
Maybe she said it on the whatever. I'll just I feel like I'm nice.
And also if you send me yeah, then we'll plan the time next week. Yes. Yes, 1 minute. Did you see the flower I sent you? Yes, so I heard that today, so I'm like kind of a little crazy today, yeah. Yes, let me just get my computer, yeah.
Should I close?
Yeah, that'd be great, yeah.
I close it? Okay.
I'm also hoping to maybe have a nice meeting with Nayana about her stuff, but that would be good if we could talk, and then you'll let them maybe you